Mac. Now, Singapore will be hosting its 6th International Salsa Festival this weekend, and it's expected to be sizzling.
Well, with more than 20 top names, both globally and locally, taking part in workshops, shows and parties over 3 days, it's no surprise this event attracts thousands of Latin music lovers and dancers worldwide.
That's right. Today we thought we'd take a closer look at salsa music, what its charm is, what makes it unique, and also chat a little bit about its history and how it arrived on our shores and got to be as popular as it is today.
Well, let's welcome our guest, Gupson, founder of Attitude Dance Studio and also widely known as the founder of salsa here in Singapore. Jackson Tan, co-organizer for the Salsa Festival, and Latin artist Juan who's brought in a few instruments to show us today. Quite a few bits and bobs there.
Very interesting. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Now, Gupson, can we start with you? How did salsa come about and how did it arrive on Singapore's shores?
How the dance arrived on Singapore shores, how the dance arrived, it was in 1920s in Cuba. How did it arrive in Singapore? We'll say due to all the traveling of people, immigration and all. Yeah. Then I believe in the 90s, Singapore had the first touch of salsa.
Okay, and explain to us a little bit more about what salsa is. A street dance, Latin dance?
It's a dance from Cuba, absolutely. So which means some people call it the street dance, yes. Because we dance it a la calle, which is in the street.
Right.
And a la calle because we dance it on the street and we dance it everywhere in ballroom and any other place. So we actually say salsa is a street dancing, but with a lot of techniques,
So, Jackson, when did you get into the salsa craze, and why is it so addictive for Singaporeans?
Oh, okay. I get into salsa during 1998, while I was first traveling to Santo Domingo, which is the Dominican Republic. So I actually started from merengue, and I started falling in love to the salsa itself. Then in 2001, we started to have our own studios, and we started GG Salsa Reggae as a dance studio. And subsequently, I'm going on to the 2004-05, and we started to partner up with a Union Square together to go to Union Square as a salsa club.
Well, Juan, you play for Fuego Latino in Union Square practically every night here in Singapore for the past 4 years, and you see all the people coming. How has it changed over the years? Have you seen a lot more Singaporeans come, or in general, what's your observation?
Okay, from the time when I came here to Singapore, I saw a lot of local dancers, but now it's a lot of people from all over the world. They come to dance at Union Square.
Okay, yeah. Well, you've brought in a few instruments to show us today. Let's have a look at some of them, shall we? Let's explain, perhaps, what have we got here? The clave, the key instrument, I believe, Gupson.
This is the clave. It's actually a two-piece of wooden stick, which is a very, very important instrument in salsa. Without the clave, salsa will not actually exist. This is actually one of the base of the music itself. Okay. So this is what actually keeps the rhythm for the dancers.
Okay, for instance, Juan, can you show us what are the rhythms that you kind of keep for salsa?
You can do a clave 3-2, for example. So the dancers are actually using that number 1, 2, 3, 7, and so they're using that as the pattern of the basic footwork.
Okay.
For those of us who don't really know much about salsa music, how is it different music for things like rumba and cha-cha and tango?
Wonderful, wonderful question. Very good one. The thing is, between you get all the bass instruments, which is the clave, the pongo, the cowbell, we have some core instruments as well as the piano, the bass. And example, the piano have a rhythm called the montuno. The montuno actually is an 8 rhythm who keep the dancers in pace. Yeah. So at the moment you hear the montuno, guarantee with the clave, accompanying it, that's guarantee a salsa.
And also the cowbell as well, that's quite distinctive. Can we
absolutely,
have a
absolutely.
Yes. The cowbell, and we've got also the gyro and the bongos.
The cowbell actually is a very simple little instrument, but it's kind of not very noisy. I'm going to try to make it very soft.
Yeah.
He's going to hit all the rhythm 1, 3, 5, and 7, and he's going to use some syncopation down here. So this is where it's going to be closed, and this is where it's going to be open. So every time that I'm doing it, I'm going to close. So I let him go actually to put the accent on the 1, on the 3, on the 5, and on the 7.
Okay.
And I'm keeping the rhythm down here.
Okay. And how does it work together with, we've got the gyro and the bongos as well. How does that all work together or come together?
If I think that we go here, Jackson and I, we're going to start first. And he's going to try with the bongo. So we're going to start first. I'm going to go on. We got to keep it up.
That's amazing. Fantastic. So obviously in a band though, I mean there are many members. You can have up to 10, 12 members in a band.
As most as possible.
Yeah. What other instruments are involved in a salsa band?
Okay, we can go for sections. With the rhythm section, it will be mostly the timbales. We have timbales. You need congas.
Yes.
You need bongos.
Yes.
The bongo player, he will be in charge of the campana,
Okay.
the güiro, and the claves.
Right. Okay.
And that's it. In the bass, we have the bass, we have the piano,
Yes.
the horn section, which
Okay.
is a trombone, trumpets,
That's a lot.
saxophone.
We're talking about 15 to 18
Yeah.
musicians.
Let's not forget about the singer as well.
Exactly.
How
Yes.
important is the singer to a salsa band?
Singer, they are really important. You need to learn how to talk and how to express yourself.
If I
With
go a little further
music.
with the singers, is what is important for the salsa dancers most of the time. There are some singers who are not only singing; they are the soneros.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what they do actually, they change the lyrics of the music
Right.
by seeing the dancers. The way the dancers move, they change the lyric of the song.
I see. Well, Jackson, tell us a bit more about the dancers and also the upcoming salsa festival that's happening this weekend. How the popularity has grown in Singapore and in the region for salsa.
Okay, I would say that in Singapore has grown throughout since 2003 all the way until 2010. And the growth has been a lot more. Okay, and right then due to the exposure, a lot of the regional,
Yeah.
as well as Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand,
Okay.
Bangkok, Vietnam.
Yes.
In fact, it's very popular right now in Vietnam. As a
Yeah.
lot of Vietnamese coming to Singapore for the Singapore International Salsa Festival actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And are Singaporeans shy when they get to the dance floor? Do they get
Yeah.
really into
I
it?
don't think so.
No, they're quite shy, in the beginning. Everybody's shy in the beginning when you need to show your moves. It's a body language.
Yes.
But then when they get used to it,
I think in
Can you really let go?
they've been doing a really good job,
I
They
think
teach the
in
people
terms
how
of
to-
like, socially, I think getting, because in salsa itself, the environment is very social.
Yeah.
And people tend to get social and get to know each other more. So you're getting more comfortable when dancing together. So you're not so shy.
I see. Well, we're going to get a sample of that a bit later on about not so shy dancing. But just finally, what are the highlights of this year's Salsa Festival?
Okay, the highlight for Salsa Festival this year is at the closing ceremony. Yeah, so don't miss the closing ceremony. We have a special item for that.
Okay.
And as well as some of the highlight of the workshop, then you
Right.
can come into it. Then a workshop for Grupo Alafia.
Yes.
Then quite popular right now in Europe is the Pachanga, which they've been having a workshop.
Alright.
As this year we also come in with more like the Cuban style of salsa itself.
I
Yeah.
see. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing with us your thoughts and bringing the instruments too. We'll get you to get ready in just a minute, Gupson. Thanks for coming in this morning to tell us all about salsa, its origins, its growing popularity in Singapore and the region.
And before we go, we do have a little performance by Gupson and his dance partner, Lavina, who they've lined something up for us,
That's right.
dancing to one of Juan's original songs, Little Boy, which features on his new debut solo album.
That's
which
right,
Juan's got
Juan
ready.
Reno's self-titled album there. If you'd like to find out more about this weekend's Salsa Festival, log on to sisf.com.sg, and I believe we'll bring up the website now so you can have a look and see all the details there of the performances and what you can expect this weekend on the Salsa Festival.
Meantime, it's goodbye from us for today, Thursday, 11th of October. See you bright and early tomorrow for your daily dose of world and business news.
We'll be tracking the US vice presidential debate. We'll see you tomorrow. Meanwhile, enjoy
Without
salsa.
further ado.